welcome back to my kitchen here at the Evans Family Garden. This morning it's 8:30-ish. We've been up since about 6, and today we are going to be making Bierocks. If you've never had a Bierock, I will put a recipe down below so that if you like what you see, you can try it for yourself. It's delicious. It's a nice, hearty, home-cooked, filling meal. We like to prep a bunch of them ahead of time and then freeze them. So on cold days, or if we're sick or don't want to cook and we just need something nice and filling, we can just pull those out and rebake them or heat them up. So what they are is we're going to take, you'll see, we'll take ready dough, and it's a bread, like taking a bread loaf, but you make pockets full of meat. So little bread pockets full of meat and onions that are baked, and cabbage. So we're doing roast. You can use whatever kind of meat you want. Most people use a type of beef, or red meat, and we've had it roasting all night long, not roasting. We've had the roast smoking all night long on our smoker. We have a Rectech. I'll go out and show you in just a second here. Looks beautiful. So we've had that going all night long. We put it on about midnight last night, and my husband got up around 6 this morning and has been checking it just to get it up to 205, 210, I believe is what he wants to do. I'll have him talk to you about it. Wait. Hi, baby. You're gonna hear our baby in the background, sorry. So we're gonna take that off, let it rest, shred it up, mix it with some cabbage, onions, broth, and get it wrapped up in those bread doughs and bake them. So stick around if you wanna see that process, and I'll again have that recipe down below for you if you wanna try it out yourself, but it's gonna be a fun day.
Hey guys, my name is Vicar Evans. I am married to Tara Evans, who runs the Evans Family Garden. You've probably seen me before, poking my head in the background or irritating her as she's trying to work. But yeah, today I actually got to take a really cool part in what she was doing. So we're making Bierocks, and there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but the way we choose to do it is we take a beef roast and we will cook it out on our Rectech for several hours, get a nice good smoke on it, beautiful smoke ring. And then we shred it up and mix it in with all the other ingredients and then put it in the Bierock. Talking about the roast, okay, I'm an ag teacher. It's what I do for a living. Specifically, I focus in shop, but I do manage different animal projects. So right now I focus in just the swine production, but up until very recently, I was helping students raise market cattle or beef cattle and get them ready to show and eventually be harvested. Whenever I look at something like that, I'm looking at what is that animal going to cut like, what's their plateability going to look like, and how's that palatability going to serve. No matter if it's lambs, goats, cattle, or swine, it's all the same portion. So this is really a cool thing. All the meat that we use here at our house, 99% of it comes from FFA students that we buy from during fairs. So that way we can support them and carry it on. So if you're interested in that, it's a great way to feed your family, and I encourage you guys, get registered at Big Fresno Fair or your other local county fair and support an FFA or 4-H member. Now, moving on to the nitty gritty. What we did this time was I took the rolled roast, which it's just a normal roast, taken off the shoulder, I believe, and it's tied. Usually it'll be 1 to 2 strings on it. And it just keeps a nice, beautiful little rosette in it. Ours are about that size. And it keeps the meat together. Now, as soon as you're done cooking it, you cut the string off. It's just butcher twine. Doesn't hurt it at all. Nothing on it. Take it off. Put it in the trash, and then you're good to go. What I did was I knew I wanted a longer smoke on this, and so we seasoned it with 2 different types. The first one was a seasoning I make. It's real simple. You guys can do it. It's about a 50-50 on salt and pepper, and then I put about a quarter mix of garlic in there. So yeah, with beef is a really hearty meat. You can really hit it with the salt and pepper, and it's not going to affect it. And the garlic just makes a nice little addition on the top. And so once again, that's 50-50 on salt and pepper, and then whatever I have in there, I take about a quarter of that amount and mix it in with garlic. Give it a good shake, and then you're good to go. Now, when it comes to actually putting the seasoning on, I keep it simple. You can go light, medium, or heavy. Light means as you sprinkle it on, you can see a bunch of the meat and the fat still there, okay? Medium, everything has an even coat over it. You pretty much can't see any meat or fat. You see whatever coloring you have of your seasoning. And heavy is you have seasoning on seasoning. That's right, Ryan. So you have seasoning on seasoning, you're hitting it hard. And sometimes that's right. Right now, that wasn't. So medium on salt, pepper, garlic. And then we did a light sprinkle of, and I love this stuff, Kinder's, looking for a sponsor. Wood fire garlic from Kinder's. This stuff's awesome. It obviously has some paprika in it and onion, dehydrated garlic. It's just a really good smoky flavor. Ooh, all right. Absolutely love the Kinder's brand. So do a light sprinkling on that, both sides. Now, before you put it in, I generally like to do a binder. You don't have to. But for our binder, we use this stuff that I don't really know what it is. I know it's olive oil. Miss Tara, what would it be? It's Costco olive oil. Once again, look for sponsors, okay? Just regular Costco olive oil. You just need a dab. Take your finger and just kind of spread it over, and you're seasoning a light coat. Now, once you season it, you let it sit for 5-10 minutes. Usually I walk out and turn on the barbecue at this point. And you're going to see that seasoning when you come back in after 5 or 10 minutes. It turns from a dry, just kind of sitting on there, and you can tell it really starts to soak in. It has a wet texture. Once it has that, we flip it over. We do the bottom. We hit any spots we miss. Let it sit for another 5 or so minutes. And then we take it out to the grill, and we throw it on there. Now, I put mine on at 12:30 p.m. or a.m. Big difference there. Because I knew I wanted to have a long smoke. So I dropped it down to 210. Let it do its thing until I got up at 6, got ready. Made it out to the barbecue by 6:20, and they were 140 degrees. So about 20 degrees shy where I wanted it. So anyway, going through, I checked them, raised up the temp to about 230. Let them sit there for another 2 hours. I helped my brother on repairing a fence while we were waiting. Temped them again. They were sitting about 290. And I'm just about now, whatever time it is. Oh, look, a stove. 11:40. I'm going to go ahead and pull them off. Now, when they hit 165, I took a non-wax paper. It's really important you do non-wax. So a non-wax butcher paper, and I wrapped it. Oh, when you wrap it, you got to be really tight. Roll it in there, and then what that's doing is it's keeping the bark on the outside of the roast from drying up more and having some issues. So get it up to 165. We wrap it in the paper, and you can use foil. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. You can choose not to wrap it all. I like to because it just makes the outer side a little bit more palatable. And when it hits 205, I'm going to pull it off, and I'm going to let it rest. Now, if you were going to sit down and cut up the roast and eat it, I would be adamant, hey, it's got to rest for an hour. Since we're going to shred this one and mix it here with the cabbage and some other goodies, it's going to sit in water. It's going to rehydrate. You're fine. Those juices are still in there. They're going to get the flavor into the cabbage. So resting, I'm probably going to give it about 30 minutes. Going to be real short on that one. Once we're done with that, we let it boil down or simmer down, not boil. We let it simmer down, make sure the cabbage nice and soft. We had a little bit more pepper in there. Most of the seasoning is going to carry through. If this was ground beef or if it was another way where I didn't use these seasonings, I'd be hitting it hard with garlic and pepper, a little bit of salt, just to try and bring those flavors, but the beef is going to do the majority of that work. After that, we have ready dough. And why did we choose ready dough? Well, that's easy. It's because it's what I used when I was a kid. So we're going to use ready dough. We chop them up into about fist-sized, maybe Tara fist-sized portions, and we roll them out until it's about a dish size, that big. Put a blotch of cabbage and meat in the middle, and then we fold it in. And usually I keep a little bowl of juice, and I'll put a little bit right where they all come together. I pinch it and I fold. After that, we put them on baking trays, and we'll bake them usually about 350, and they're ready in about 20 minutes. And it's a good hearty meal. We make a ton of them when we're getting really busy, especially when I'm on the road a lot, either with my kayak fishing or with ag mechanics or fabrication team or meats team, 3 different teams I coach, or when I'm at fair and I'm gone before the sun is up and I don't get back till after it's dark. So working. This is a great meal that you can make a bunch of, have them piping hot, hot and ready. And then the extras, they fit perfectly in the Ziploc bags. We freeze them, and they're just awesome, especially to go into work. Pull them out of the freezer, warm it up in a microwave or a little mini oven, and have a great meal there. So anyway, hopefully I didn't ramble on. Like I said, I have students that have to live through this every day. So thank you for your patience. It's a great thing. Thank you to the Evans Family Garden for having me on to talk today, and I'll catch you all next time. Thanks. Bye.